achieve her lifelong dream of opening a food business, only to find herself with no time and virtually no shot at a comfortable life. Having raised 2 children with the understanding that they face a similar fate, no matter how high their bootstraps are. The twisted part is, despite the fact that we are in the lowest class in America, we are still wealthier than billions. We have food in our stomach most days, we fight hard to keep a roof over our head, and we have the most material sedatives of the modern world. This leaves us constantly justifying the abuse we are in, because we could always have it worse. The way this story manifests itself differs, and so do the responses to such abject horror. Some, unfortunately, have been gaslit into believing it is another working-class person, which is the cause of their struggle. Justified anger at being screwed by the architects of this system, misdirected in the most insidious of ways by said architects. Racism and its parallels stem from this misdirection. When someone calls you nigger, no matter how hard it is, no matter how horrible, try. Just try and remember. They are projecting. They themselves have been lied to, gaslit, and force-fed propaganda. They've been pushed out of reality into lies, and the only way to guide them out is through love, compassion, and genuine concern for your fellow human being. We gather tonight in part because all of us know this. All of us have lived or are living this reality. I am reminded of the 3 evils Martin King helped bring into the national consciousness: materialism, poverty, and war. However, I somewhat disagree with King's interpretation. I believe these are tools. Evil ones, to be sure, but tools nonetheless. Used by the true evil in this world, the powerful. Those who have orchestrated the world to be one of greed, hatred, and fear. As they revel in the fruits of their exploits, we the people divide ourselves, making enemies out of should-be allies over culture wars which distract us from focusing on the power dynamic. There are individuals in this world with the power of nations. Individuals.
Wow.
Able to dictate policy across borders with impunity. Squashing opposition, making a better world seem impossible. Again, sitting back while the masses fight amongst themselves, totally ignoring the real enemy. Movements with the energy to change the world dissipate over arguments over what label to use, or how nice we should be to our oppressor, and calling that pragmatic. Doing everything but rocking the boat, or taking on the status quo so that each and every one of us has a say in the world that we create. And in doing so, becoming an accomplice to the evil which is rotting humanity away. We are here tonight, but so are our ancestors. We bring with us the stories of humanity everywhere we go. We are a people which, through facing the worst of what humans are capable of, maintained courage. We are a people which, through the worst, kept love alive. Not because we are better than any other, but because we look death right in the eye every day. Coming to terms with one's mortality can instill a courage unparalleled by anything which could be taught. When you quit the fantasy of pretending you'll live forever until you don't, you have to question what you'll leave for your children when you're 6 feet under the ground. Fear is powerful and easy to capitulate to. It requires you to become uncomfortable with the injustice we've adjusted to. We stand on the shoulders of those who came before, and they beg us to be better than that. They beg us to use the culmination of our collective knowledge to be more courageous than they ever could dream, using their experience and their courage to overcome the final obstacle of liberation we as a people face. Complacency with the rot that is hate and the effects of a world built on such catastrophic thinking. Humanity which refuses to love will suffer infinitely. When we learn to love, we can build the bridges which will bring together the working class, allowing us to realize that all it takes is us standing in solidarity, toppling the chess game which is being played on our backs. Our liberation comes through the liberation of all exploited people throughout the world. We are not free until our brothers and sisters in Palestine are free. We are not free until our brothers and sisters in the Latin world are free. We are not free if our white brothers and sisters feel chained. We are not free if a child is drinking poisoned water or if they have been taken from their community to be sold on the market.
That's right.
We will never be free until Africa is free. We will never be free until everybody is free. We are chained together and can only break out as one.
That's right.
The urgency of this moment mustn't be lost. The world has never been this morally bankrupt. The military-industrial complex has obliterated the most sacred of cities in this world for decades, subjugating people in this so-called third world to live equivalent to how people lived in the Stone Age and continuing to bomb those people. Constantly threatening nuclear warfare, forever building weapons of mass destruction which could end life on this planet in minutes, and calling it peace through strength. Stealing trillions of our dollars to murder innocent people, and when they fight back against such terror, calling them terrorists.
That's right. Shame.
For nearly a century, this has been the case in one form or another. And now, war isn't even discussed. No news about the fact that we are using siege warfare in Syria right now. Joe Biden, Anthony Blinken.
Call it out.
No news about the bombing of the Sudan. Joe Biden, Anthony Blinken. No news about the fact a UN panel accused the United States of genocide in 7 instances. Not to mention the fact we manipulate those in communities here at home we have destroyed to carry this out. The ultra-wealthy, gaslighting the poor, and slaughtering women and children in a country which poses no threat to them. And that is not mentioning the domestic terror imposed on us. Not by the Ku Klux Klan, but by a government which at this point has been taken completely over by the real domestic terrorists. The oil barons, the prison executives, the pharma shareholders, and the rest of the powerful. They have been kind enough to put on a show for us the last few decades of 2 parties claiming to fight for you, while shepherding the energy which could take on the real enemy into meaningless battles, while the evil in Ra grows. Or even more basic, sports battles. Remember what Junaval said, give them bread and circuses and they will never revolt. Well, people are not only tired of bread and circuses after centuries, they cannot afford them. Sooner or later, you reap what you sow. Sooner or later, what you choose to ignore will become unavoidable. Right now, the collective spirit of the people surviving this, and the people who have not, are begging us to stop ignoring. And whether or not we witness what can only be described as a neo-fascist revolution which takes the fascism we experience right now under the prestige of the American empire and Nazifies it, or a revolution of love which recognizes the soul in every human being and builds not a better world, but a new one, built around the virtue of love.
That's right.
I'm not dying leaving this world as wicked as I found it. Too many people have. I will die knowing we left a better world for generations to come. A world where they can have those deep social conversations about race and gender because there isn't a single person fighting to survive. This world is not just possible, it is necessary.
Yes.
It is a mandate from those for whom we live.
That's right.
A moral obligation to do what is right in the face of such evil. Not to capitulate the master for the sake of a twisted view of pragmatism, and to stand strong, with your back up straight and your soul on fire, ready to usher in the end of this long-lasting but waning era of greed, hate, and exploitation. If we are to achieve a Black Renaissance, which I know is possible, we have to look within and deal with our own cowardice. Cowardice which causes us to make decisions based on whether or not it is safe, whether or not it will be popular, whether or not it is politically expedient. This moment asks of us to look towards our conscience, to look towards the moral center of our core for guidance. And when we make decisions based on morality, we can take on the Goliath which stands at the Golden Gate of Justice, and we can step into a new world.
That's right.
I ask of you one thing. Look within. Do what is right because it is right. We are living in a world made from choosing the safe path, which has kept the powerful in power. And I say to them now, we will no longer be beaten down, subjected to fear. We will no longer mock or ignore our moral core, which tells us enough is enough, because enough is enough. Thank you.
Woo!